Hello everyone and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 24 press conference stream with me, Holly Shand, and it is set to be a busy one because we've got 13 press conferences coming up in the next hour and I'm going to be activating my wildcard on this stream. So really exciting one. So if you're here, come and say hello in the chat. Make sure you like the stream. Let's get it up to 100 likes. Subscribe to the channel as well. It's been a while since I've done a stream because I was away with the family last Friday. It was my intention to do a team selection video yesterday, but it took me until last night to really decide what was right. I think I tweeted on Thursday morning, I could be anything from rolling the free transfer to wildcarding. I have made the decision to wildcard. It's not active yet, but I promise you I will be activating it on stream today. And thank you as well for all the well wishes. I think people were worried because I've not been uploading in the general schedule that I follow that something was wrong, but no, everything's fine. The shorts have been up. It's just with going away last weekend, it's just been a bit busy, and then sometimes got to prioritize the gameplay over the content. But I think I'm in a good place with it now. I can see lots of you saying hello in the chat. Make sure that you're dropping your questions here as well. So I've already heard from Newcastle this morning. We had quite a few press conferences yesterday. Brentford, Everton, Sheffield United, Burnley, Palace and Man United. At 1 o'clock, which is now, we're expecting to hear from Bournemouth, Chelsea, Spurs and Wolves. Key updates there on Son and Hwang, who are both back from the Asia Cup. And then at 1:30, we've got Arsenal, Aston Villa, Brighton, Fulham, Liverpool, Luton, Man City, Forest and West Ham. And the big one there is Mo Salah. I've not planned a wildcard team that involves Salah. It would be convenient for my wildcard team if Salah's not back for a few more weeks, but it'd be interesting to see what Jurgen Klopp has to say there. So this is my team as it is. I've not pressed the wildcard button yet, but I will be doing so on stream. Just to talk through why I'm playing the wildcard. Well, to start off with, you look at the players I've got for double game week 25. I've got Haaland, Foden and Trent. I've got Gordon, who's injured, who ideally I need to turn into another City player or another Liverpool player. But I've only got 6.9 million. De Bruyne's way out. Even to get Jota in, I'd have to take a -4. I've got Trent in there, who I don't like at the moment either. And then I've got two expensive goalkeepers, which is really making me struggle for funds. Stupin and Gusto out of favour. The other options were to sell Gordon and Watkins for Jota and Darwin, which would kind of work for this week. And that would give me 5 doublers for 25. But I'm then struggling for 26 and beyond. I've not got any Luton players. I don't feel like I'm attacking it. I'm just kind of getting by. And at some point, you have to flip the table and really go for it. So that's why I'm playing the wild card. I'm still a bit confused on my strategy for 25, whether it's going to be a bench boost week or a triple captain week, whether I do a softer side so that I can make a decision next week once we've got firm information on how many minutes Haaland plays in a Champions League midweek and how many minutes he plays against Everton, of whether that triple captain's absolutely locked or whether bench boost would be better. Or I could just go and build the team with bench boost 25 in mind, which would alter my current draft. So there's quite a lot of bouncing around in my head at the moment. There's already 165 of you in, which is amazing. Make sure that you're hitting that like button. We're only at 30 likes at the moment, and make sure that you are subscribing as well. I'm going to go say some hellos. I think I see VJ in and modding. He's in a wet Watford, she seems to say every week. Gazman is in, as is Carl, Abard, Mike, Julian, LIC, Matthew, Femi, Paul, Simon, Monk J, Anton, Shaif, Carl, Beardy, Simon, also in and modding, Chris, Morris, Phobia, and Neil. Neil says, hi, Holly, hope you are well. Simon said, afternoon all. I'm going to pop straight over to the tweet deck then, because we were expecting updates from Bournemouth, Chelsea, Spurs and Wolves around now. Klopp's press conference at 1:30 is obviously going to be another big one as well. As always, we do have, first of all, if I turn my volume up, we do have a little video from Postecoglou. So let's see what he's got to say on Sonny.
Thanks for joining us. Looking ahead to Brighton. Important game, obviously. Going to start with team news. Just the three that have, been out recently. Gio, Cess, Mano, any progress?
Gio's back training with the group, so
That's not the information we need.
Just continue his rehab.
So you've got Sonny back and Biss back. I mean, dare I say it, apart from the three who are injured, you've got everyone back actually for the first time in ages.
Yeah, no, it's good to get the guys back. Obviously, all three of them, Pape as well, when representing their countries, unfortunately, their tournaments ended early, but we're the beneficiaries of that. And good to have them back in the building. I think it's just good for the lads to see everyone back together. It's just it's been a while since we've had everyone training, and today was kind of the first session where everyone was in, and it was good to see from all of us.
Biss and Sonny okay? Good to go?
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, they're obviously.
Wow.
Biss,
straight back in for Sonny then.
Sort of had a bit of a longer trip, but Sonny played, and they had a pretty tough tournament with a lot of extra times and late finishes. So, but both trained today, and both in good spirits.
So a little bit of a caveat there on Son. It sounds like he's back, but maybe be a bit protected with his minutes for this week, you would think. Maybe in from the start from next week. So we'll see on that one. Poch is in for his presser ahead of Crystal Palace. Sounds like Colwell is a late fitness test. So that's one to consider. Badiashile, still waiting for information on him by the looks of things. So that's an interesting one on Son. What's the reaction to that? Like, is he a consideration? I think at the moment, though, with Richarlison playing up front, Son potentially back in, Maddison feeding, I think Richarlison's still the better pick. Obviously, when Son's on the pitch, you would imagine he would be back on pens, but there's no guarantees. I think it's only positive news for Richarlison owners. Louis Martin says, I have Son still. Nice. I think I only sold him going into game week 23, but I sold him for Foden. So, that definitely helps as well. While we're waiting for the rest of the presses to come through, we'll just recap what we've got already, because there was it 6 pressers yesterday, and we had Newcastle's presser this morning as well. So from Sheffield United yesterday, no mention of McBurney. Grubic is out with concussion for Sheffield United. Everton, there's a few bits and bobs floating around. It looks like Coleman might be back, which is good news for them. This is the update from Newcastle. Gordon has not trained and will miss the Forest game. House says not serious, back sooner rather than later. Do we trust Eddie Howe? I don't know, but I think Gordon's probably a sell given that he misses this week and there's no doubles in the schedule. Isaac also out, but could be back soon. Willock hasn't trained with the group. There's a chance that Wilson will start for Newcastle with all that injury news. Good news for Taylor owners that he's expected to be back for Burnley. Thiago suffered a setback in his return from injury for Liverpool. Eze, end of February for him. Bit of a centre-back crisis at United as always. We've got that important game week 29 schedule. This is the pictures of Sonny back in training for Spurs the other day. Mo back in the gym. I don't think he's been pictured on the grass though, although I guess everyone was in the gym by those pictures yesterday. What if Klopp says Mo's available? That would turn everything on its head. So we've got the update on Sonny now. And this is the schedule from Ben Crellin. If you're not following the two Bens, you're doing FPL wrong. But yeah, we've got doubles for Brentford, City, Luton, Liverpool in 25. Blanks for Luton, Liverpool, Spurs and Chelsea in 26. Doubles for Luton and Bournemouth in 28. And then there's only 3 confirmed fixtures in game week 29 as things stand. Brentford, Burnley, Aston Villa, West Ham, Fulham, Spurs. There's a good chance that Luton Forest drops in there. Potentially another. I'm looking at the likes of Liverpool, Chelsea, Newcastle, Manchester United. One of those will probably slip up at some point. So that's how things are looking there. Let's see if we've got any more updates from Pochettino. Everything goes too quick. I keep chatting. Obviously, Ben's got the updates from Postecoglou. Nothing else too exciting coming out of the Chelsea press conference as things stand as well. Just checking that I've not missed anything important in the chat. Gazman on a wildcard 2, 3 Luton, 2 Liverpool, 3 City, no hits before 30. Start Doughty or Gabriel this week? Probably both. That would be my take on that. Lots of people already asking for the wildcard. I'll show you in a minute. Simon says, do fancy a wildcard. You might sway me to pull the trigger a week or two early. Let's see. FPL Harry is in. He says, I'm surprised Gordon is a sell for you. Most don't need him this week and plays in the blank. Yeah, that's true. I guess, I think if you've got funds in the bank, it's an easy move to upgrade Gordon this week to, you know, a Jota, a Foden or wherever you can go. I guess it's team dependent. I think that's the buzzword around FPL content creators this week is it's team dependent. So let me show you my wildcard draft then. I'll show you it on the hub because I've got it loaded in at the minute. So I've gone with 3 Luton players, Kaminsky, Doughty and Adebayo, because that unlocks the funds to have a triple up on City attackers, Haaland, De Bruyne and Foden. Also allows me a triple up on Liverpool. I've gone Darwin, Jota, Van Dijk because Trent's been playing more as a traditional fullback in recent games, seeing his minutes managed as well. Van Dijk, I know, will play over 180 minutes across the double. Big threat as well. And then the other 2 players that make it in this week are Saka and Gabriel, West Ham away. And then on the bench, I've got Areola, Hee-Chan, Pau Torres and Ait-Nouri. And that's because game week 25, I'm then having 9 doublers and 2 single game week options. And then when we get to game week 26... Hang on. Didn't work. Didn't like that. But like, have I failed again? It's always like, well, which bit is that? Was that a bit in that square? Yeah, when it gets to 26, I can move out, and I would have liked Moreno in here rather than Pau Torres, but I think with Dean potentially back, that does muck things up a little bit. I can then get Jota and Darwin out for Bowen and Watkins. I know it says I can't afford it, but I can. Something went wrong with my funds on the hub. So that would be 26. And then at some point in 28, I'd bring in Solanke. And looking to 29, I would bring in probably a couple of Spurs players. So I should only be using free transfers, maybe a -4 going into 29. And that stands me in good stead. The decision would be, of course, if I decide to bench boost in 25 or not. Is Areola, Hichan, Pau Torres and 8 Nori a good enough bench boost? I think if I was to decide now to bench boost for 25, I would make sure I had a stronger bench. I could potentially... I experimented with a draft earlier that had Tony in. I went with Tony and Barkley rather than Hichan and Adebayo, but I also had to knock Saka down to Richarlison. That would allow me to bring in me and Branthwaite, who then double. So I could go triple Brentford and have 12 doublers for 25, and on a bench boost have Richarlison at home to Wolves, me with a double game week, Flecken with a double game week, and Branthwaite. It could be Van Heck, but Branthwaite or Van Heck. So that would work. What I need to decide is where that leaves me going into 26. Could I free hit in 26? I don't really want to blow wildcard, bench boost and free hit in a period of 3 game weeks. It would feel like a long end of the season. So I've still got a few things to weigh up, but at the moment, I'm pretty happy with this draft. And I'll remain flexible. I can bench boost in 25 if I want. I could triple captain Haaland in 25 if I wanted to as well. There's a lot of moving parts to bear in mind there. If you like the wildcard team, hit that like button. We're at 87 likes. There's nearly 400 of you watching. Remember, all the support you can give is really appreciated. It gets the channel and the content out to more people, helps me to grow the channel. Still looking to get to that elusive 30,000 subs, not far off. FPL Harry says, is it 100% active? I haven't activated it yet, but I will activate it before the end of the stream. But I still need to weigh up the bench boost in 25. There seems to be a lot of differing views on the wildcard team. Maybe I shouldn't look too closely. I think there probably will be some cup upsets. But the thing is, I was so far away from attacking, 24. This period of 24, 25 is so important because Luton, City and Liverpool have great fixtures this week and double next week. And when you've got that information in front of you, I think it's just really important. I guess it's different for different people. Cosburst says Salah injury updates coming at 1:30. We've got the 4 press conferences supposedly going on now at 1 o'clock. I'll check for updates on those. And then we've got a flurry at 1:30. So it's definitely a busy one. Simon said, I might not need to wildcard. My team isn't too different to your wildcard, but I still fancy a wildcard. Be patient, Simon. I know patience isn't your strong point, but yeah, that would be my advice there. Andrew says, if you avoid triple captain in 25, then between that and 28, Solanke gets injured, then what? There's doubles in 34 and 37. Like, if City get to the FA Cup quarters, they should double. So that's something to consider. The thing is, I think I did a similar strategy to this 2 seasons ago. And I wildcarded and then bench boosted the next week. But it was the week that everyone triple captained Salah and he got 90 points. And the strategy would have worked really well had Salah not gone nuclear. Which makes me think that triple captain is the play for 25. Let's have a look at these press conferences. So Jurgen Klopp obviously coming up at 1:30. I don't think we've had anything interesting extra coming out of these press conferences from Chelsea and Spurs. I've not seen anything from Wolves yet, either, or Bournemouth. You know, when you're told that these press conferences are going on, but when you actually go and look for the information, it's not actually there. We're learning from week to week, though, aren't we? Do we think Sonny starts? I mean, I could go Son on Wildcard. I wouldn't be able to have De Bruyne, though, and I don't think my priorities would be in the right place if that was the case. I'll put it back on screen for you to ridicule. Spam says, move your mouse more erratically. Maybe. Jake, what's your game week 26 plan when your Liverpool and Luton players blank? So I'd sell 2 Liverpool players, probably for Watkins and Bowen. I've got enough funds for that, especially if Bowen drops again, which he should do. Bench the Luton players, because obviously they've got that utility in 28. Who is the other Ben? Ben Crellin and Ben Dinnery, both on Twitter. That's where it's at. Martin says Hwang over Neto, interesting. I think Hwang is probably the better asset long term. I don't need him this week. Pella, looking at Wildcard 24, triple 30, 25 and free hit 34. Yeah, I think that's probably where I'm at as well. And then bench boost 37. It's just scary to wildcard in 24 and not play the bench boost till 37. Cosba says that everyone's underestimating Brentford's fixtures. Are they? I personally think they're terrible. Wolves are in great form. Then it's Liverpool at home and City away in the double. And then West Ham away in 26 is not easy either. Obviously, they've got a fixture in 29. So that definitely helps them. But the trouble is that all these players that have a fixture in 29 are probably not players that are going to double later in the season. It's not a massive season for blank and double game weeks, though, which is why I'm quite happy to kind of attack what's there in front of me at the minute. All the busy 1:30 press conferences are being teased at the moment, so we'll see how all those shake out in about 10 minutes. Martin says, love the 8 Nori pick. Oh, thank you. They play Sheffield. Is it Sheffield United in 26? Sheffield United at home. That's why they're there, those Wolves players. And I think they've got decent fixtures beyond that as well. That team looks pretty solid for 26, and that's for free. And then 27, Van Dijk will come back in for that one for Forest away. Another strong-looking 11. And then when it gets to 28... it's probably going to be Haaland to Solanke. Maybe Van Dijk to a Bournemouth defender. Something like that. I mean benching Foden, potentially. But I'd have 4 doublers again there. And then 29. I'd have hopefully Kaminsky and Doughty, Bowen, Watkins, Powell. Areola's definitely got a fixture. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Providing Luton get through. And then I can... Who have I not said? Then I'll buy a couple of Spurs midfielders, I should imagine. Don't know who'll go out or exactly how it'll work, but I also need to have a route back to Haaland for 30. But I can I could free hit if I get stuck on 29. We won't know the fixtures for 29 until before game week 27. So there's a bit of flexibility there. But that's where I'm at with the wild card at the moment. I don't think I want a bench boost in 25. Or I don't think I want to shake up my squad too much to lock in the bench boost in 25 because I may decide to triple captain. Salah news coming up in 5 minutes' time. So that's going to be exciting. We've made 100 likes. We're very close to 500 watchers as well, which is the most we've had for a little while. Obviously, the wild card must be bringing people in. So I guess the big news is going to be on Salah, because that's going to give us either put the cat among the pigeons and make us consider Salah, or the other thing is that it makes Jota and Darwin feel a bit more secure. We've seen Salah running outside on the grass on his own. We've seen him in the gym with the rest of the squad yesterday. So there's a few little bits to consider. Don't know if we've actually had anything through from Wolves or Bournemouth yet, with their pressers meant supposedly to be going on at the moment. We'll probably get it in about half an hour's time. Here we go. Wolves' fully fit squad, He-Chan and Traore, have trained and are available to start the game. So that's good news as a potential He-Chan owner. Do I do the bench boost or not? Maybe I'll put a little poll up. Salah, by the way, sorry, not Salah. Haaland winning the captaincy poll, 74%. Liverpool attacker second in 16%. Richarlison 5%. Another City attacker 5%. Let me put my team back on screen for 25. And then we're going to put best chip strategy with Wildcard 24 in mind. So it's going to be triple captain 25 or bench boost 25. Interested just to get your thoughts. Obviously, if I could do the bench boost, should I set up the team with what the bench boost should look like? Because I'd probably go Flecken. In goal. I'd still have the back line. I'd go with Tony. And I'd drop Saka for Richarlison. If I can find him. Where's Richarlison on that list? I guess it's because Spurs blank, isn't it? That it's not doing too well. And then instead of He-Chan, I go Barkley. Virgil, Gabriel, probably me and Branthwaite to get the money to work. If Harry's still in, I'd be loving the fact that it's me's getting a mention there. So, too many Luton. Have I got too many Luton players? What have I done wrong? I don't think I have got too many Luton players. Am I going mad? Kaminsky, Doughty, Barkley. Oh, I think it's maybe what I've got in before that. Hang on. We'll try again. I might have to come back to this. We might have to take the presses and come back to it. At the moment, 78% are saying triple captain 25. Which I think is fine. Lewis says, got a similar wildcard activate, but I've got 5 differences. Fleck and Neto, Emerson, Barkley and Tony. Instead of Kaminsky, Areola, Nori, Saka and Adebayo. Yeah, so I think, Lewis, your draft may be quite similar to the one that I just tried to put together and failed at. I'll try and put it back in a bit. I'm just conscious, though, that we are getting to this crucial time where we've got these 1:30 press conferences, and it looks like Klopp is in already. Lots of questions on blue cards. It's not going to happen. Arteta is in, Klopp is in, Guardiola is in. So these are the big ones for sure. Let's see what they've got to say. The Salah update, the biggest of all, of course. So we'll keep it open there and wait to see what comes through. I'm just going to check that I've not missed anything else while I've been wildcard tinkering. Birdie says, I think Luton assets might be a trap, avoiding them altogether. They've got the form, though. They've been in great form, Luton. And I think we need to alter our mindset on how we rate Luton assets. Gordon is out for 24. Question from Carl, and this is an important one. Can you free hit and triple captain same week? No. And this is the thing for next week. People will get to next week, see the doubles and think, oh, I need to wildcard because I've not got enough double game week assets. And then they'll also plan on triple captaining or bench boost and then realise that you can't do both in a week. So, yeah, be careful. This is why I'm looking to wildcard this week so that next week I can triple captain or bench boost. Good question, though. Simon Cowley has said, Gary O'Neill talking about He-Chan, fantastic option from the bench. He was a consistent starter, though, wasn't he? I don't actually need him till 26. He's playing 90. I think, he might not start the next 2, but he's going to be on my bench for the next 2, so that's fine. Yeah, hopefully Klopp gives us an update on Salah soon. Come on, Klopp. Give us what we want. Reaction to Arsenal defeat. That's not going to help us as well. Yeah, most people seem to think triple captain over bench boost in 25 is the way to go. And I'm fairly sure. What I found difficult this week is that I'm kind of not on the main strategy that a lot of people are going for. And that's because of how my team was. However, you do start to worry a bit that you've not explored all the options when you're kind of going different to the herd. And you start overthinking things. Thinking, have I missed anything or whatever? FPL Raptor popped in with bench boost 25, significantly better than triple captain 25 if you're wildcarding this week. No guarantee your team is in position to bench boost later. You'll have to use your free hit to sort out your starting 11. Yeah, that's the thing that I'm wondering about. This is why I was trying to put it back onto the My Team tool to really plan out what those weeks would look like with bench boost. Because the other thing that we have to remember is any players that are available for us in 29 are unlikely to blank in the rest of the season, because we're going to get the blanks and the doubles caused by the fixtures that we've not got in 27. Szoboszlai out of the Burnley game. And Klopp had to say that Thiago is not cool. Obviously, in another injury in his comeback. Let me jump. That isn't my wildcard team. This is the experimental one, isn't it? I'll come back to the wildcard in a bit. Simon said, can you pin your wildcard team in the chat? Can I do that? Probably. You're really testing my tech knowledge here. So at the minute, it's Kaminsky wildcard team. Surely someone's asking Klopp about Salah already. So it's Kaminsky, Areola, Van Dijk, Gabriel, Doughty, Aït-Nouri. Can't remember who I've picked now. Pau Torres, Foden, De Bruyne, Saka. I've forgotten again. How have I forgotten? I actually spent all the time thinking about this. Conor Bradley returning to training next week after the death of his father. Foden, De Bruyne, Saka. Am I going mad? I can't even remember. Up front, it's Haaland, Adebayo, Darwin. It's Jota in midfield, wasn't it? And Hwang. Thanks, Simon. Now let me pin that. Where is the info on Salah? Harry's put, Klopp literally not asked really about Salah. Asked about injuries and discussed basically everyone except Salah. Brilliant. Useful. How has no one asked him about Salah? It's ridiculous. Unless it's embargoed, which could be the case. That's just ridiculous, though. Jimenez and Tete out for Fulham. Raul will be weeks, more than 1 month for sure. That's ridiculous that no one's asked about Salah. Bournemouth have got 4 players out. Aarons, Hill, Fredericks, Adams. Everyone else is ready to play. That's just ridiculous. Right, we have now heard from, obviously Newcastle was this morning, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Spurs, Wolves. Not seen Arsenal yet. Or Villa, or Brighton. Fulham's in, Liverpool's in. No Luton. City is coming now. Forest, West Ham are still waiting for. Klopp saying increase of people in the stadium tomorrow. I think that's the first time the new bit is open. Endo is available as well. It's really difficult to know what that Liverpool defence is going to look like. So obviously Trent's back, Robertson. I guess Trent, you'd hope, is a bit more nailed. There's some flu in the squad. Oh, for God's sake. That's just what we need. Are you kidding me? What on earth? This game, honestly. Obviously, they're playing at home at 3 o'clock. Are we going to get a leak? I don't know. Have Liverpool trained today? We might have training pictures. That's ridiculous. I'm tripling up on Liverpool in my wild card. There's talk on Twitter that probably the lack of Salah news means that, maybe Salah's not ready. As Spy and Cop, good Liverpool account, says, would tie in with what I heard about Gomez being ill yesterday, not in training. So maybe we don't need to worry too much about the context there. Oh dear, this FPL game. Sometimes I think, why do I play it? There's just so many variables. VJ's talking about fish and chips in the chat. Thank you. Hope everyone's eaten their lunch yet, or is eating it now. Those in the UK anyway. Simon said there's nothing worse than man flu. I'm still recovering from 2022 man flu. It's 2024 now, Simon. Get with it. Dave, it's triple captain and bench boost. Right. Interesting quote from Arteta now. Just to muddy the water a little bit more. We have a few still in contention. Tomorrow we'll have another training session. We're hopeful we're going to have a few back. On Saka, again, he's recovering this week and looks okay. Was there a problem with Saka that I've missed? Have I just been living under a rock? Why is this game so confusing? I feel like I say this every week. This season, the players aren't staying fit for whatever reason. Right, let's have another little look at this bench boost then. So I could go with this 11, which for game... I'm going to have to reset it, aren't I? Hang on. Sorry about this. Kicked in the ankle last time out. All right, I see. It's not an issue then. Right, let's reset this. Actually, I might just log out and log back in again. Because the money wasn't working out either, was it? Yeah, Lewin says too many games, no rest, injuries. Yeah. This is what happens, isn't it? I'll just keep flicking back and check I'm not missing anything in the pressers. Oh, we have got news on Salah, finally. Heading in the direction, we hope he can be part of training next week. It's either next week or the week after. That is good. That, I think that kind of rules Salah out of being an option for double game week 25. Aiming to be back in training next week. Potentially... David Lynch says potentially making himself available for Brentford. Interesting. What does that mean? I don't think it'll be a bold decision to go with Salah for 25, because even if he's available for Brentford, it's unlikely that he'll be a starter. You're not going to get two. I think that means you're not going to get 2 starts from Salah in double game week. So Salah back in team training next week. Let me make that a bit bigger. This game, eh? Yeah, I think, you're going to get 2 sub-performances from Salah in the double, which isn't good enough. But it's something that we have to consider. I think that's good news in terms of kind of strategy. Because it's like he might be back in training next week. There's no guarantees. And obviously, even if he is back, when you've had a hamstring injury, you can't just come in from the start and play loads of minutes. So that's a big Salah update. Hopefully I spelt that all right. It's all ifs and buts at the moment. Hopeful that Salah will be back in training. Update on Tomiyasu and Zinchenko. Not really. Not really an update. Obviously, Arsenal don't play till Sunday, so there's a bit more time before that really comes to fruition. I was going to say, it's information's flying in all directions at the moment. I'm just making sure I've not missed anything else while digesting the information. The exact quote via FPL Rockstar. Mo back in training next week or week after. Mo would say next week. I think Klopp's going to have to protect him, isn't he? It is a difficult one to interpret, I'll be honest. I would like things to be a little bit more certain when playing a wild card, but you know how these things go. Everyone in the chat seems very split on who will get how many minutes Salah will get in the double. Shall we put that to a poll as well? How involved do you expect Salah in double game week? Remember, Liverpool have got the cup final as well. So that's a big factor. Start both games. Bench 1. Start 1. Bench both. You've got to remember that if Salah's back in training next week... Hang on. Let me get the right thing. If we look at Liverpool's fixtures... So play Burnley on Saturday. He's out of that game. Then it's Saturday's the game against Brentford. He could potentially make the squad for. But then is he going to play significant minutes in either of those games on the Saturday, having returned to training next week? Or if he doesn't return to training the week after, when it's the cup final? Like, he has to protect him for the cup final, surely. I don't know, though. The top of the table, but it's Klopp's last season. The consensus is that he'll start one game, bench in the other game. Some thinking bench both games. Yeah, we're nearly at 200 likes, by the way, guys. Simon's at QPR v Norwich tomorrow. Share your channel with fellow FPLers. Thank you. I think it's kind of good news for those planning to go without Salah. Pep very coy on fitness, as per. Just trying to make sure that I'm not... This is a quote from Andy, which is on Salah. We hope he can be part of parts of training next week. So we have to see he's going through all the places. Yeah. I don't think Salah's an issue. This is the exact quote that we need, look. We hope he can be a part of training next week, but we have to see. He's going through all the paces now, but look, it's positive. It's either next week or the week after. If you ask him, it's next week. Yeah. I don't think Salah's a worry for those back in Darwin, Jota and the rest. Yeah, Birdie says, I think Salah will be back for the cup final, not before. Yeah, I think that could probably be his first start back. FPL Josh at the City game tomorrow. Very nice. So, it's my daughter's birthday next week. So, soft play party tomorrow, which she will love. No update on Jesus. I think this is the busiest kind of 1:30 section that we've had for a while on these press conference streams. Right. Shall I have another look at this alternative wildcard squad? See what we think to it. So, let me get this right. So I'm looking at Kaminsky and Flecken. And then at the back, Van Dijk. Oh, I could go Pinnock. Pinnock could save me a bit of money, actually. Maybe go Pinnock. Gabriel. Doughty, Branthwaite, we're just going to try it on for size because this is what I like about the planning tool on the hub. You can see what it looks like. You know, sometimes you don't know till you've hit that confirm button how it's going to look and whether you're going to be happy with it. Remember the link for this, by the way, guys. So if you're a hub member, you get this My Team tool. So you can plan for future game weeks. The link's in the description. I probably ought to put it in the chat as well. Let me just find it. You can get a 7-day free trial as well. So if you know you want to do a bit of planning this week, but you don't know whether you want to sign up long term, that's fine because you get a 7-day free trial. So you can use it and then you can cancel it. You don't have to pay for it. So I dropped it in the chat as well. It was going to be Barkley, wasn't it? Where was he? He was there. Haaland, Tony, Darwin. Right, make transfers. Right, now I've logged out and back in. It's saying I can afford it as well, which is good. This is saying bench Darwin. Why is it doing that? Let me just adjust it manually. There we go. Be bench Barkley, probably first sub. So that would be the team for this week. And then seem to be struggling with this again. It's then how does the bench boost look, and then how do I look going forward? So that would be this week. So I'll have Tony away at Wolves. I'll have Richarlison at home to Brighton. I'll have Doughty and Kaminsky at home to Sheffield United. Gabriel away at West Ham. Then, game week 25, I would have 12 doublers, and my bench boost would be Richarlison at home to Wolves, Gabriel away at Burnley, and Branthwaite at home to Crystal Palace. Then, game week 26, and I don't know if I'd be able to afford this at this point. Going into game week 26, I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players without a fixture. And this is the issue. Because I'd have 2 free transfers. I have to take a -4 to get an 11 out, which would probably be, or I could manage with 10, I guess. It'd probably be the Liverpool players making way. So I could get Watkins and Bowen. I'd have to sell Van Dijk as well, so I would have to take the -4. I could get Pau Torres at that point, for example. So that'd be a -4 in 26. You could free hit, but I don't think it would be worth it. A -4 in 26 to get 11 out, having bench boosted in 25. 27, we've got Richarlison back in the fold now. I think the fixtures still look nice there. '28, I'd be going Haaland to Solanke, as ridiculous as that sounds. Probably De Bruyne to Son, potentially. Missed the bus there, didn't I? So then I would have 4 doublers in 28. So that's a -4 in 26, free transfers in 28, and then 29, assuming that the Luton fixture goes in, I'd have Kaminsky, Doughty, Pau, Barkley, Son, Richarlison, Bowen, Watkins, Tony, Pinnock. I'd have 10. I think I need to look at this bench boost. Because that's 10 with another free transfer. It's just where you go further forward then. Because I'm gonna want Saka back, and I'll need to get Haaland back. I'll probably do Tony to Haaland in 30. I don't think that's a bad idea. I think I need to bench boost in 25. I don't know when I'll triple captain if I did that. Obviously, I could triple captain Solanke, which I don't love, but I could triple captain Solanke against Luton and Sheffield United. I do need to think about it a bit more. Let's I'm all over the place. Let's head back to the tweet deck and just check whether anything else has been coming through. Brighton's press conference is going on at the moment. João Pedro hamstring injury, won't play v Spurs. Matoma will be involved, unclear whether it's from the start. Lots of travel seems to be the thing that's being talked about. There's a lot going on, isn't there? I think I'm going to have to work on a bench boost 25. I think it actually makes my team stronger. I think taking the Brentford players. I mean, Brentford have been woeful. You know, there's no getting around that. But we've got Flecken, who got a 10-pointer in the last game against City. He's not the worst goalkeeper in the world. And Tony, again, I think is a great pick. I'm just making sure that I've not missed anything else while I've been tinkering. The thing is, if you get the bench boost out of the way, it just frees everything up. It doesn't really matter the rest of your squad for the rest of the season. You can invest in an 11 instead of a 15. We do have more doubles coming now towards the end of the season. I think at some point I made a graphic myself. I'll have to have a look. I don't know why I can't get my words out today. I'll have a look on another tab. Let's have a look at Ben's calendar, to be fair, because that's always good. I tell you what, nothing wants to work for me today. Is that not what I just clicked on? Ben's actual seat here. So, the doubles and the blanks are yellows and reds and oranges. So, we're going to get a blank game week in 29 caused by the FA Cup quarterfinals, and they're going to have to be rescheduled for later in the season. And then, for the FA Cup semi-finals, there's a free midweek. So some teams could blank that week, some could double. But I could free hit then. I think that's the free hit week. And then there's a free with midweek in 37 where some more of those FA Cup quarter-final or semi-final postponements will fit in there. So I think I am leaning towards really attacking the bench boost in 25. I need to think about it a bit more. It is difficult to, to really, plan from week to week what the news is. And, an injury could scupper it all anyway. Let me have a look at it again. If anyone thinks there's anything I can do to improve this, it means going Barkley over Adebayo. I like having Tony in there, though. And I like having Richarlison in there. It means no Saka. If we just... I find this quite good as well. If we look at the points predictions from week to week for the next few game weeks. So 24, the big predictions include Haaland, who I'll have, De Bruyne, who I'll have, Saka and Richarlison's tied on points. I can only have one. Watkins I won't have, or Maddison or Bowen. But I've got Jota, Tony, Darwin, Foden. So there's enough to go on there, I'd say. 25. I mean, I'd have to bench Barkley as well, wouldn't I? If this was a team I went with. 25. I'll have Haaland, I'll have De Bruyne, Tony, Jota, Foden, Darwin, Virgil. Yeah, I will have Virgil. The other thing is, do I not go Van Dijk? Yeah, Saka with the fitness issue as well. That's a good point, to be fair. And I have Barkley. So you've got a really... Out of that top 20, I'll have 10, including all of the top 5. Going into 26, there'll be no Saka still for Newcastle at home. I don't think that's a bad thing, but I should have Haaland, Bowen, Watkins, Tony, De Bruyne, so that's most of that top 10 I'll have, won't I? Where's Foden in there? Oh, he's there, look. Because I've sold my Liverpool players by this point. Richarlison obviously blank, so I've sold my Liverpool players. So I don't think there's anyone kind of really obvious that I'm missing there other than Saka potentially. Game week 27. So this is my side for game week 27 if I roll. Again, I'll have Haaland, De Bruyne, Tony, Richarlison. 28, Solanke's the big one. But I'll have me triple Luton. Haaland still. I think it's looking okay, I think I need to build towards the bench boost. I think just because I need to plan the routes, probably not going to be absolutely ready to hit the button now to lock it all in. But I will be playing the wildcard this week. And I think I'm going to set up for the bench boost in 25. That has to be the plan. It's just kind of finalising those few slots of the way to, really capitalise. Let's hop back to the tweet day. I know I've not been great on answering questions today, guys, but the priority has been locking in the wild card. I don't think we've missed anything else. Let me just double check on all the tabs. Paqueta sidelined for West Ham, as is Antonio. Once I've locked in my team, by the way, it will be available on the Fantasy Football Hub website for members. So that's where you'll find my locked-in team. I know a lot of you are members already, but remember, if you're not a member, you can get the 7-day free trial using the link in the description and the chat to access it for free this week. Yeah, I don't think we've missed anything else. We've heard from Bournemouth, Chelsea, Spurs, Wolves, Arsenal. Not seen anything from Villa. They're always late. Seen Brighton, Fulham, Liverpool. Have we seen anything from Luton? I don't think so. I think we're missing Villa, Luton and Forest. The Luton one's quite a big one, to be fair, so it would have been ideal if we hadn't missed that one. But hey-ho. Right, so if I just mop up all the news then. So João Pedro, hamstring injury, out. Second scan coming, no update on Jesus. Salah should be back in training next week. It looks unlikely he'll be heavily involved in double game week 25. There's flu going around the Liverpool squad. Nothing from City. Saka looks okay for Arsenal. No specific update on Zinchenko or Tomiyasu. Gomez potentially the Liverpool player with flu. Endo is available though. A few out for Bournemouth. A couple out longer term for Fulham. Bradley likely to be in training for Liverpool next week. Szoboszlai out for Burnley. Colwill potentially back for Chelsea. Sonny back for Spurs. Maybe not from the start though. Few bits and bobs going around at Sheffield United and Everton. Gordon out for this week for Newcastle, as is Isaac. Wilson potentially starting. Taylor back for Burnley. Eze not back till the end of the month for Palace. Centre-back crisis at United. That's about it, really. So, let me go back to... This is looking like my current wildcard draft. And I think I'm looking to plan a bench boost in 25. But I think I only really have committed to the bench boost strategy on stream. So the wildcard I shared at the start of the stream is a bit different to the wildcard I'm sharing now. However, again, I still think that it's really important to wildcard and bench boost close to each other. So I think I am going to plan on doing... I haven't activated the wildcard yet. I will be wildcarding this week. That's for sure. That's not going to change. I think I am looking toward bench boosting in 25, which has changed my draft from the one I shared at the start of the stream. I don't know when I'll triple captain. Could be 28 on Solanke. Could be towards the end of the season. That means I wouldn't triple captain Haaland in 25, but I just need a bit longer to play around with the weeks. But this would be what the bench boost would look like in 25 with a double game week goalkeeper with Richarlison, Gabriel and Branthwaite. Everton have been pretty good defensively, haven't they? Crystal Palace at home with their injuries. That is not a bad fixture. So this could be the wildcard team. But as I've mentioned, there will be an article live on Fantasy Football Hub by the end of the day with my locked-in wildcard team. And you can get that with a 7-day free trial. There's 30% off memberships as well, but if you just want to get my final team reveal, that's where you need to go and get it, and you can access that for free. A lot of you are Hub members already, I know, so that's where you need to go. But hopefully you found this video useful. If you have, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. The big news, Salah back in training this next week, not available in 24. Could be available for summer 25, but I think Jota and Darwin owners don't need to worry too much. And yeah, I'll be back next week. Not going to have any videos on the channel till Thursday. Half-term juggle. My daughter's birthday. So yeah, be a quiet start of the week, but I should be back with team selection on Thursday, press conference stream on Friday, and a few shorts bobbing about as well. Thank you so much for the support, guys, and I'll speak to you again soon. Good luck anyone else on Wildcard, and thank you so much to the mods and members for supporting me on this one.